Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Something is happening with XRP right now. And it's something that has happened in the past, as I'll show you as we get into the video. And I will tell you here at the outset of this latest Moon Lambo hot jam that one of my favorite analysts in all of crypto, who happens to be a member of the XRP community, notes that it's not only is it happening again, but the last couple times this happened, XRP just soared. I also want to talk to you about what's happening in the market today because some people are very scared right now. I understand Bitcoin went down, the market went down, alt's taken an absolute beating. Is this normal? Should we be concerned? Is the top actually in for the market? Well, that's what we're going to talk about. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say, all right? I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 6:09 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday, June 18th, 2024. Can you believe we're halfway through the frickin' year at this point? Man, time flies when you're having fun. Or even when you're not having fun. Just being in crypto, it ages you. XRP is 49 cents. Bitcoin at $65,247. Crypto Fear and Greed Index 74 out of 100. So somehow the market apparently is still in greed. But here's the 24-hour Bitcoin chart. You can see it got down as low as 64,239 bucks. XRP got as low as 47 cents. So what's actually going on here? Well, here's a post from Santiment. And I wanted to share this because, as I note from time to time, it is indeed the case that equities are treated the same as cryptocurrencies from investors, in that they're treated as risk-on assets. So what's going on here? Because today, recently, we're seeing that there's this quote-unquote decoupling. Anytime I hear decoupling, I'm like, I haven't heard your specifics yet, but I'm willing to bet I'm going to disagree, and it's not true. Because I'm telling you this, the stock market is not decoupling from the cryptocurrency asset class. There is not any evidence to actually support that. It's the same stuff when I see XRP's decoupling from Bitcoin. A bunch of people were talking about that yesterday. I'm like, no, you're looking at too small of a window when XRP outperforms. It doesn't mean that the asset class still moves in tandem, damn it. But this is important because we do want to see the stock market continue to rise. Since these asset class, stock market and cryptocurrency asset class, since they move in tandem, if we continue to see the stock market move to the upside, which is what we're seeing, even if Bitcoin isn't at the moment, it's probably just lagging behind. That would be my guess. But there's this post from on-chain analytics firm Santiment. They posted this just this afternoon, and they wrote, Bitcoin's plummet has come in spite of the S&P 500 continuing to roll. This split between sectors has been a surprisingly rare occurrence ever since the dust settled following the FTX collapse in late 2022. In most circumstances, crypto has seen a relief bounce to catch up. And so there you go. There's a very real correlation between the stock market and the cryptocurrency asset class. When people are willing to take on risk, when there's sufficient liquidity, and money will flow into the stock market and it will flow into the cryptocurrency asset class. So they're the same in that sense. It's just that there's way more opportunity in the world of crypto because there's more of a frenzy around it. There's way less money in crypto. It takes far fewer dollars flowing into any cryptocurrency to get a tremendous multiplier effect. And so chart analyst Ali Martinez, he was also talking about this topic. He shared this chart. So the red lines here, that's the price of Bitcoin. And then the blue line is the SPX, which is the S&P 500. And Ali wrote the following. Bitcoin has shown a strong correlation with the S&P 500, but this week that link broke. While the S&P 500 hit new all-time highs, Bitcoin experienced a steep correction. And so that is true. Just to be clear, though, like even though there's this correlation, as I frequently say, it doesn't mean it correlates down to the freaking second, or the day, or the week, or even necessarily the month. But if you zoom out on a chart over a long period of time, it's very clearly there. And you can see it. I mean, this chart goes back to December. I mean, it doesn't ever like perfectly line up just like, I don't know, like puzzle pieces, like not literally, but it's pretty damn close, right? I mean, you can see that. And so the fact that Bitcoin price going down again, that's the red line, while S&P 500 goes up, that's the blue line. It doesn't mean that something's wrong and stocks are just going to keep taking off and Bitcoin isn't. No, we have seen many moments like this before. And so I've seen stories like this before. And sometimes it's even the inverse. Like look back here in April of this year. You can see the S&P 500 was going down and Bitcoin was going up. That's the opposite. Does that mean that the S&P 500 was just going to keep tanking while Bitcoin is just going to keep rocketing to the upside? No, it doesn't mean that. You can go back to February. Here, the price of Bitcoin was going down while the S&P 500 just rocketed to the upside. So these moments happen, but if you zoom out, you will realize that it does not matter. That's the point that I wanted to make. And I believe what's most probable is that by the time January rolls around, you'll see the S&P 500 is way higher, and the cryptocurrency asset class is going to follow. That's my bet. And I know I could be wrong, but we're all entitled to take a stab at this, to take a guess. That's my guess. Take it for what it's worth. I'm just a dude on the internet named Moon Lambo, who may or may not be wearing pants currently. You do not know my current pants situation. Here's another post from Chart Analyst Alley. This is from June 14th. He said, Bitcoin needs to climb back above $66,254 quickly to avoid a potential correction down to $61,100. Now, this morning he reposted that and he said, looks like $61,000. Now, of course, we haven't hit that yet. We've got as low as the low 64,000s. But he's saying that's what looks probable at this point. And that wouldn't be some sort of gigantic problem necessarily, even if that happens. Take a look at the latest from chart analyst Credible Crypto on this topic. What's happening with Bitcoin? Which does matter even if you're way more into XRP and you're way more interested in that, which is true of me, most certainly. Bitcoin leads the way. So if it does well, alts eventually catch up. Just like if Bitcoin's falling behind in the stock market, it's going to catch up. So here's what Credible Crypto had to say just this morning. Patience, fam. Spot premium back with a vengeance, funding literally flipping negative for the first time in months, and Bitcoin still chilling above the best area to long at $62,000 to $63,000. No doubt in my mind, we are forming a bottom here above $60,000. Just need to be a little patient. And so he has very strong conviction on this. And the other day I mentioned that he shared that he's super long Bitcoin. In fact, he's betting on Bitcoin breaking $80,000 by the end of July. And what he said would invalidate that that particular technical analysis is if Bitcoin does break below $60,000. He thinks there's about no chance that it's going to go below $60,000. He feels that strongly about it. It's very clear. And so we'll see what happens here. And by the way, I was listening to the Blockchain Backer's most recent video today, and one thing that stood out to me is he said it was not that it was these exact words, but basically one of the things that caught my attention that he was communicating was that basically what he's looking for is to see if there can be some stability in the market, because this is basically kind of that make or break moment. Are we going to see a dramatic move to the downside, or are we just seeing the end stages of Wyckoff accumulation and things are going to start rocketing to the upside? And so I'm going to go ahead and hazard a guess that it'll be to the upside. He didn't really strongly vocalize that whether he thinks it's going to go one way or the other, which is perfectly fine. But he did note that this is the moment where we kind of got to figure that out. So he's watching all sorts of stuff now. And actually, I want to share this from him also. There's this post. I actually remember talking about this at the time from May 1st. The Blockchain Backer posted on social media platform X, "Want a little hopium? Sentiment rough, right? Well, it makes sense. The rest of the market has never been more overvalued versus the XRP price throughout all of history except once. Then the glory came." And what was he referencing, folks? He was stating that XRP hasn't been so poorly valued against the rest of the market except for one time. That was 2017. Here, I'll just make this full screen for a second. This is what he's talking about. What happened in 2017? We know that, right? And what's the latest? So he has an update on this. He reposted that, and he reposted that last night, and he said, And I'll make this full screen now. This is the latest one from last night. Still looking interesting for XRP. After reaching historical extremes, a massive weekly bearish divergence shows up for total versus XRP USD right at resistance. And so I'll just pause to note what he's stating there is that the entire cryptocurrency asset class, if you price that against XRP, yeah, bearish divergence. I mean, and this is what he's, for those of you looking at the screen, you can see where I'm circling. And that's RSI. So for the entire crypto asset class. And so as I've been saying for months now, this is the worst the sentiment has ever been that I've seen, and that makes me giddy. That makes me very happy. Not because I want people in misery, but because I see that as an indicator. When people are like this, yeah, when people are euphoric, that's the time that it makes sense to be scared. It's the inverse of what you might think if you're not, if you're new to the world of investing or crypto, just generally speaking. So the fact that this is happening is incredible. And then he also wrote, MACD hits historical extreme and the MACD flip has begun. When these events occurred in 2017 and 2021, XRP outperformed. And so folks, again, think what he said, what I just shared with you May 1st. How about that? XRP priced so poorly against the rest of the market. Now here's an update. As we get towards the second half, we're in now the second half of June. What's happening? It's looking like things are shaky for the rest of the crypto asset class compared to priced against XRP. What do you think that means? I mean, look, nothing's ever guaranteed in any of this, but history rhymes with itself. It's XRP, my bet is that it is absolutely going to hit a new all-time high, enterprise discovery, and melt phases. I don't make price predictions. I don't speak in absolutes. I certainly don't know for sure. That's my best bet. And unless we have some sort of black swan event, unless there's actually no alt season, that's what I think is most probable. And so the fact that we've been ranging this long, and the fact that, had a rough day today with the price action in crypto markets, broadly speaking, I don't care. And it doesn't matter. And let me tell you something. One of the reasons that I genuinely don't get emotionally disturbed by this is because I have genuine strong conviction for this entire crypto asset class, which means that even if my suspicion is wrong, which I admit is possible, even if this was the top of the market, and I really don't think that's true, but even if it was, just play with the hypothetical, and we enter a bear market, and crypto doesn't come back for a number of years, I'm still here. I don't need to pull that money out now, and I do believe it will come back. This has been my third bull market. And if this really is the top, which again, I don't believe, then I'll have a fourth one. And then I just have to wait. Look, fine. But it keeps trending to the upside and gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So all I have to do is sit around and do nothing. And so there's no secret as to how I'm so calm about this and how I genuinely don't lose sleep. The reason is because I have that conviction, and I don't feel it's absolutely necessary for me to get my life-changing wealth right this second. I have a very happy life. I'm happy with where I'm at financially. It's fine. I don't need it right now. I'd like it. If it's offered, I will take it. I will sell everything. Sure. I mean, if I'm sufficiently enticed. But it's no more complex than that. So if you're having trouble thinking about this, just, I don't know, ask yourself, do you have real conviction for the crypto asset class? And if you do, I mean, unless there's some sort of extenuating circumstance specific to you, perhaps it's the case that you just need to be at peace with, understand, you don't control when it goes, because that's where I'm at. I don't control it. And when it goes, and then I sell. That's it. So if it takes another few years, which again, I don't think will happen, if it does, I'm happy as a clam. I ain't worried. I have fun in bear markets. I'm still going to hang out with y'all. I'm still going to run this YouTube channel with a silly-ass name, Moon Lambo. Yeah. None of that stuff changes. So that's it. And I know most people have trouble with this stuff, but that's the reason I don't. It's because my conviction is real and I'm patient. I don't need the money right now. I just don't. And so, unless something is specifically but see, I understand there can be extenuating circumstances on an individual level, but I think for most people that's just not the case. They just freak out and they make stupid financial decisions based on emotions. But I've been here 6.5 years. If it takes another 6.5 years till we get to the point where I can sell, fine. But I will tell you this: my crypto is worth way more than what I invested in the space because I've been here this long, and because the amount of time it takes to double one's net worth in crypto versus what it takes to double one's investments in the stock market, it's not even close. For the stock market, it takes 7 to 10 years typically to double what you invest. And in crypto, that can happen in an afternoon over a matter of a few hours. Just food for thought. So there's no reason to freak out if you have a sufficient time horizon and you understand why the crypto asset class is not going away. And not only will it not go away, if you let enough time pass, you'll see it gets way, way, way bigger than it is right now, into the tens of trillions of dollars, probably over $100 trillion. And yes, XRP is going to get a piece of that. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.